Um, on today's episode of TPAT UTME Mathematics, we are going to be completing an aspect of sequence and series known as arithmetic progression. Okay, so I believe last week we started arithmetic progression, popularly called AP. And one of the key things I want you to always note, AP problems are very, very straightforward, provided you know what to do. Now, one of the things you need to do is when you are solving problems on AP, you have to read your problem. And then when you read out the problem, you must be able to identify two things. Number one, you must be able to identify what is the first term. This first term is symbolized as A. And then you should be able to identify what is the common difference, symbolized as D. Okay? Now, you know that in your AP means that AP is a form of sequence where successive terms differ by a number called the common difference. For instance, let's assume in your family, you guys are 4. In a family of 4, your firstborn is, or let's say the lastborn is currently, let's assume you are the lastborn, you are 15. Then the person before you is 18. That's a difference of 3. The next person is now how many? 21. Abi? And then the firstborn of your family is what? Is 24. So now what you see is that this 15 here is the first term, okay? 18 is the second term. The difference between the first term and the second term is what we call the what? The common difference. Is what we call the what? The common what? Difference. Common difference D. Are you with me? The common difference D. So one of the basic formulas that you need to have at the back of your mind is the Tn, what I mean by the nth term. Now, this is the first term called A. That A, the first term, can also be called the T1. The second term is T2. The third term is T3. And the fourth term is T4. So let's also want to get the T5, the T6, the sixth term, the seventh term. We say that the Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1D. That's the formula to get the nth term. Are you with me? Now, you have done all of this last week. So today, we want to look at another part of this topic, which is the sum of AP. How do we find sum of AP? For instance, let's assume this is your family now. You are the last born, 15 years old. Okay? 18, 21, 24. You guys are separated by 3 years. Now, and I want to get the sum of everybody in your family. Now, I want to get the sum of your ages. You just say sum equals to 15 plus 18 plus 21 plus 24. Now, it is easy to do this because the number of terms here is just how many? 4 terms, right? We only have 4 terms here. The number of terms here is 4. But what if we have hundreds of terms? What if we have hundreds of terms? How do we solve that problem? Are you going to start saying 15 plus 18 plus 21 plus 24 plus 27 plus, you are going to sleep there? Are you with me? So how do we now get the sum of the AP? Now, a formula has been derived for sum of AP, which you must have at the back of your mind, that the sum of an AP to n term is equals to n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. So with this formula, Sn equals to n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. With this formula, you can get the sum of the sum of any term. Now let's assume in this family now. Let's assume in this family, I want to get the sum of, how many terms do I have here? 4. All I just need to do is I'll just say the sum to the 4th term is the number of terms is 4. That will be 4 over 2 into bracket 2 times a. That will be what? 2 times 15 plus n is how many again? 4 minus 1, Abi? multiplied by the common difference of how many? 3. So what do you have? 4 divided by 2, 2. 2 times 15, 30 plus 4 minus 1, 3. 3 times 3, 9. What do you have there? 2 times what? 39. And what is 2 times 39? 2 times 39 should give us, what's it called? That would be 70, 78. I hope I'm correct. Now, and if you also do the sum of these guys, if you sum it in the normal way, if you sum it 15 plus 18 plus 21 plus 24, we should get the same answer. Let's try it. Now, 5 plus 8, 13. 13 plus 1, that's 14, right? 14 plus 4, that's 18, right? 1 plus 1, 2, 3, that's 3 plus 2, 5, plus this, 78. What do you notice? We are able to get the same answer. So it is easy for me to just add these terms together and get the sum of these terms, okay? But in a situation whereby we have hundreds of terms, and will you start doing 15 plus 18 plus 21 plus 24 plus 27? No. That is why this formula is important. So with this formula, you can get the sum of the nth term of any AP as Sn equals to what? N divided by 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Am I making a sense? So let's start taking some problems. Okay? Now, I'm going to read these problems to you. Okay. So, in an arithmetic sequence, with 25 terms, in an arithmetic sequence with 25 terms, if the first term is 60 and the last term is minus 12, find the sum of the terms of the sequence. Let's go. I repeat, in an arithmetic sequence, when they say arithmetic sequence, they mean arithmetic progression. They mean linear sequence. Please take note of all of these names. When they say arithmetic sequence, it also means linear sequence. It also means AP, arithmetic progression. Okay? So don't panic, even if they change the name. Now, in an arithmetic sequence with 25 terms, so the first thing you're going to write there is the number of terms, n is equal to what? 25. That's the first thing. If the first term is 60, first term A is what? 60. And we're now giving the last term. And the last term, your last term, I can call that T last to be what? Minus 12. I'm now told to find the sum of the terms of the sequence. The sum of all the terms in this sequence. Now, how do I do that? Very, very simple problem. Now, in this case now, you cannot start doing, you cannot start saying, oh, the first term is 60. What will now be the second term? Now, for you to even get the second term, now, if the first term is A, the second term will be A plus D. Look at that for my example. I said your own age is 15. The next person after you is what? 18. Difference of how many? 3. How did I get this 3? How did I get this 18? 15 plus what? 3. If I add 3 again, 18 plus 3. What's that? That's 21. Am I making a sense? So now, in this case, you cannot start doing 60 plus whatever is the second term, whatever is the third term, and then you start doing all of that process. This exam is just 40 questions in 30 minutes. So how do you solve this problem without wasting your time? Because Post UTME, UNILAG Post UTME is not testing how much of formulas do you know. It is how accurate can you be. We just want to test that. Are you smart? The level of smartness, that accuracy. You see a problem, you can quickly put in one or two calculations or whatsoever, and then you produce an answer. That's what the exam is all about. So how do we solve this problem? Now, for me to get the sum of the terms, don't forget the formula I gave you. N over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. Now, I would want someone to, I would unmute you guys now. If I'm to apply this formula, if I'm to apply this formula, I want to get the sum of the terms in that sequence. If I'm to apply this formula, what is going to be my problem? What is going to be causing an hindrance for me to apply this formula? Will I be able to apply this formula, yes or no? And if you say yes, it means that you are telling me that all the available parameters here are given. And if you are saying no, it means that you are telling me that one or more of the parameters is not available. And you're going to tell me which one is not available. So I want someone to answer that. I want someone to answer that.
So you can use it.
I can use the formula?
Yes.
Okay. If I'm using the formula, that means you are telling me that all the parameters here are available.
Yes, they're available. The number of terms, which is 25, is there. N and
good.
N. The first term is there, which is 60.
God bless you. It's also available.
Yes. The common difference is not there, but we can still.
The common difference is not there. So can I apply the formula?
No.
Can I apply the formula now? Can I apply the formula? The answer is no. I cannot apply the formula because the common difference is not there. So that means that I have a task.
The one online directly.
I have a task, which is the task is not there. How do I get the D? Okay, so if that is the case, that means I must look for how to get my D to apply to successfully use this formula. Now, let me now tell you something. I'm going to solve this problem using method 1 and using method 2. Now, and I will now tell you which one are you expected to know as a smart student. Which one are you expected to do on the day of your exam? Now, if you look at it now, the only problem we don't have here is we don't have our D. But we have the last term. We have the last term in that question. Now, if we have the last term in the question, what is that last term doing? That last term can help you get your D. How? Look at it. The last term is just like your normal TN, which is the last term is just like your normal TN, which is A plus N minus 1 D. We are told that the number of terms in that sequence is 25. That means that the last term is T what? 25, which will now be equal to what? A plus 25 minus 1, right? Multiplied by D. What is the last term again? Minus 12 equals to, what is our A, the first term? 60 plus 25 minus 1, 24, multiplied by D. Am I making any sense? The next thing is for me to collect like terms. If I collect like terms, what would that be? Minus 12 minus 60 equals to what? 24 what? D. Abi, what is minus 12 minus 60? Minus 72 equals to 24 what? D. What will now be my D? Minus 72 over what? 24, which is what? Minus 72 over 24 should give me, I think, 3, I guess. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that's 3. Okay, so that's minus 3. So our common difference is what? Minus 3. Our common difference is minus 3. Okay, now I've gotten my common difference. So if I've gotten my common difference now, the boy that answered my question, can I now solve this problem? Yes, I can solve the problem. Still on method 1, no, I cannot solve the problem. So if I'm solving the problem, it should now be sum of 25 terms, will now be, what's the number of terms? 25 over 2. That means I'm substituting now into the formula that we have. The formula that we all know. 2 times, what's the A? 60 plus 25 minus 1, Abi, that's N minus 1, multiplied by a common difference of what? Minus 3. So what do we have? 25 over 2 times, or into brackets, 2 times 60, 120, Abi, plus 25 minus 1, 24. 24 minus minus 3. 24 minus 3 is, what's it called? 24 minus 3 is 24 times minus 3. 24 times minus 3 is minus what? 72. So what do you now have? 25 over 2 times 120 minus 72. So what do you have? What is 120? 120 minus 72. 120 minus 72 should give us that's 48. So what do we have? We now have 25 over 2 times 48. So when you multiply that, this will give you 2, this will give you 4. What do you now have? That's 25 times 24. That's what? 600. That is 600. So our answer there is 600. Now, but let me tell you something. If I'm to solve this problem, I don't need to go through all of this stress. What do I need to do? Very, very simple. And that is the shortcut. And that is what we are teaching you. We don't just want you to just go into the exam and start solving. The exam does not give you that luxury of time to start solving and solving and solving. It's all about being smart. So what is now the shortcut? Now, the shortcut is this. The sum of N10 in an AP that I've given you as this formula is also the same as N over 2 into A plus T last. Take note of this formula now. The sum of an N-term is N over 2 into bracket 2A plus N minus 1D. This is what everybody knows. This problem does not need you to start doing all of these things. No. When you do all of this, this is what differentiates somebody that is going to score 29, 30 in UNILAG Post UTME from somebody that will score 24. It is all about being smart. Okay, so we are teaching you that shortcut for you to be able, when you see a problem, oh, you think this is what they want you to do, not all of this stress. Now, how do you now solve the problem? Sum to the n term is equal to n over 2 into bracket a plus the last term. So if I'm applying this formula, all I just need to do is, I don't even need to do all of this stress. All I need to do is just put out the parameters. If you look at the parameters, n is available, first term is available, last term is also available. Just these three things. Or look at all the stress I've drawn, and I will apply this formula. I will still get the same 600. So what do I have? 25 over what? 2 into bracket. What is the first term? 60 plus what is the last term? Minus 12. What do I now have? 25 over 2 into what is 60 minus 20? 60 minus 12. 48. What do I have? 25 times 48 over 2, which will still give you what? 600. Now look at all of these steps. Just look at this, just one line. You are getting the same answer. So if you are solving this like this, you are going to get the same 600. But if you are solving it like this, you are also going to get the same what? 600. But which one are you required to do on the day of your exam? This is what the examiner is testing you on. So a lot of people are not familiar with this formula. This is what everybody knows. Some of our n-term in AP is n over 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Everybody knows that. Okay? But this formula is only useful when the n-term is given, the number of terms is given, the first term is given, and also the common difference. In this problem, common difference is not given. Okay? We are only giving the last term. So there's also another formula that tells you that the sum of an n-term is equals to n over 2 into bracket the first term plus the last term. So I just put in the parameters. First term is 25 divided by 2 into bracket n term is 25 divided by 2. That's the number of terms. The first term is 60 plus minus 12. 60 minus 12 is 48. 25 times 48 divided by 2 is 600, which is also what I have here. So that's what the question is testing you on. Okay, so doing all of this stress, so it is a shortcut. It is a shortcut that we are trying to expose you to. We are trying to expose you to the shortcut of solving these problems. Okay, now I believe there are no questions under that. I'll be taking another question. I'll believe that. So please take note of this formula. Sum of n term equals n over 2 into bracket a plus the last 10. Okay, so and all of that. So I'll be taking another problem, which is the problem says find the sum of the 21 terms of the progression. I repeat, find the sum of the first 21 terms of the progression. Find the sum of the first 21 terms of the progression. Now, I love this question. Find the sum of the first 21 terms of the progression. We are now told that the progression is minus 10, minus 8, minus 6. Continue like that. Want to get the sum of the first 21 terms. Sum of the first 21 terms of this progression. Sum of the first 21 terms of this progression. You know why I like the problem? I like the problem because when you are given a problem like this problem is simple, but it is important that you know what you are doing. You want to get sum of the first 21 terms. That is n equals to what? 21. But there's a problem here. What's the problem? I don't know if this progression is an AP, arithmetic progression, or it is a GP, a geometric progression. So it is your own duty as a student, before you start solving, to test, is this progression AP or it is a geometric progression? After this class now, next class, we are going to be looking at geometric progression. The difference between you are going to see how a geometric progression behaves. We know how an arithmetic progression behaves. So for now, let's assume that we have known arithmetic progression and geometric progression. So how do I test? Before you start solving sum of the number of terms, you have to know, is it an arithmetic progression or a geometric progression? So we now test. Let's assume we already know both. Let us test if this is an arithmetic progression. Any arithmetic progression is defined or characterized by having a what? Something called common what? Difference. AP is characterized by having something called common difference. Why a geometric progression is characterized by having something called what? Common what? Ratio. Common what? Ratio. So now, what is now the common difference in an AP? The common difference in an AP is, like the word implies, difference. Common difference. Which means if I take the difference between successive terms, it must be the same. It must be common. Common difference. In the sense that if I subtract the second term minus the first term, it must also be equal to the difference between the what? The third term and the what? Second term. It must also be equal to the what? Fourth term minus what? Third term. Look at the example I gave you. I said in your family, you are 15 years old. The next person after you is how many? 18. The next person after you is how many? 21. The next person after you is how many? Is what? 24. The next person is how old? 27. If I want to get the common difference, how do I know this is an AP? I know that this is an AP because when I subtract 18 from 15, 18 from 2, what do I get? 3. 21 plus 18, what do I get? 3. 24 minus 21, what do I get? 3. What do I also get here? 3. So if this progression is going to be an AP, it means that difference between this and this must also be the same as the difference between what? This and this. So let's go. What is the difference between minus 8 minus, go with your sign. This is the second term. Minus 8 minus 10. What do I have? Minus 8 plus 10. What do I have? Common difference of what? 2. If I test it using this one and this one, what do I have? Minus 6 minus 8. What do I have? Minus 6 plus 8. What do I also have? 2. So you can see that the difference between this and this is also the same difference between this and what? This. What does that tell you? This progression is an arithmetic what? Progression. This progression is an arithmetic what? Progression. So since you know that this progression is an arithmetic progression now, you can now solve the problem. If the difference between this and this is not the same difference between this and this, that progression is not an arithmetic progression. It's not an arithmetic progression, and you cannot solve it as an arithmetic progression. Now that we have identified that this progression is an arithmetic progression by knowing what the common difference is. So we know that the common difference now is how many? 2. So we can now apply the formula Sn equals to. Now let me ask you a question. I will meet you guys now. I've given you 2 formulas for solving AP, sum of AP. I've given you 2 formulas for solving sum of AP. The first one is n over 2 into brackets 2a plus n minus 1d. The second one that I also gave you is the one of Sn equals n over 2 into brackets a plus the last term. Who can tell me which one will I use to get my answer in this problem?
So the first one.
The first one. Why will I use the first one?
Because the first one is 2. We have the first term there, which is minus 10.
We have the first term. We have the first term, minus 10. We know the number of terms, Abi.
Yes, which is 21.
And what else do we know?
The common difference is 2.
The common difference. So in that case, the first one is what we are going to use, not the second one. The second one is only useful when the last term is given. Am I making a sense? So I will now apply that. If I apply that formula, sum of 21 terms will now be what? 21 over 2 into brackets 2 times, what's the first term? Minus 10 plus 21 minus 1, Abi, times, what's the common difference again? 2. So when you do that, what do I have? Is to now give me 21 over 2 times, what is 2 times minus 10? Minus 20 plus 21 minus 1, 20. 20 times 2, 40. So what is 40 minus 20 plus 40 is actually 20. So this is now 21 over 2 times 20. What do I have here? 21 times 10. That is what? 210. 210. Okay, so that is the answer to that problem. Okay, that's the answer to the problem. Okay, so I'll be taking another problem here. I'm taking another problem here, which is, I hope you are with me. I'm sure there's no problem here. Okay. What is the sum of the first 40? What is the sum of the first 40 even positive integers? What is the sum of the first 40 even positive integers? What is the sum of the first 40 even positive integers? Now, these are the kind of questions that will test your preliminary ideas of numbers. Now, in mathematics, we believe that numbers can either be odd or even. Okay? Numbers can either be odd or even. Numbers can either be odd or even. Now, what do not get is sum of the first 40 positive integers. 40 even positive integers. 40 first 40 even positive integers. So first 40 even positive integers. Now, what are positive integers? Positive integers are integers that is their plus. They are not minus. Okay? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are positive integers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to number 40. Now, in that list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. They are now telling us that they want us to pick the even ones. So who can tell me what are the even ones in that sequence? Please submit them. What are the even numbers in that sequence? I need somebody to speak with me.
2.
What are the even numbers in that sequence?
2, 4.
God bless you. 2, 4, 6,
6.
8, 10, and then it continues like that. The first 40, okay, and then it continues like that. Now, let me now ask you. I need another person to answer me. A girl preferably this time. This sequence, is it an AP? Yes or no? And if it is an AP, how do you know it is an AP? I need a girl this time around to answer me. Is there anybody? You can unmute them, please. Is there anybody? Okay. Anybody there that will answer us? Anybody that can answer us? Is this an AP? Is this an AP?
It's an AP.
It's an AP. How do you know it's an AP? Because the common difference is how many?
2.
The common difference is 2. How do you get the common difference? You subtract this from this. 4 minus 2. 6 minus 4. 8 minus 6. 10 minus 8. So the common difference is 2. So we can now say that our first term is also how many? Our first term is also 2. This is the first term. This is the first. So, and how many number of terms are we considering? 40. So what do you have? The sum of the 40th term will now be, you know the formula, Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. So we apply the formula. So what do you have? 40 over 2 into bracket 2 times, what is the a, the first term? 2. Abi? 2 times 2, Abi? Plus, what do you have? 40 minus 1. And what's our d? Our d is also 2. What do we have? 40 divided by 2, 20. 2 times 2, 4. 30 minus 1, 39. 39 times 2, 78. 4 plus 78, 82. 82 times 20. What do we have? 82 times 20. Let's multiply that. Know what to do. 1640, Abi. I believe you have that there. 1640. Yes. 1640. That's our answer. 1640. Okay. So 1640. Okay. So we'll take one more problem. And we'll take one more problem. Okay. We take one more problem. Okay. Now we have another problem here that says if the 8th term of an AP is 3 times the second term, if the 8th term of an AP is 3 times the second term, and the sum of the first 3 terms is 18, find the first term. Okay, let's solve the problem. Let's solve the problem. Let's solve the problem. Let's solve the problem together. Let's solve the problem. Okay, so we have if the 8th term, so we write T8. The 8th term is 3 times the second term. Can you see that? If the 8th term of an AP is 3 times the second term, that's the first point we are given. We are not told that the sum of the 3 terms, the sum of the first 3 terms is how many? It's 18. We are told to find what? A. Very, very simple. So let's go. Now, what is the 8th term? The 8th term, remember that Tn equals to A plus n minus 1d. it means that the 8th term will be what? A plus, because I don't know what A is. A plus 8 minus 1, 7 what? 7D. Likewise, the second term will also be what? A plus 2 minus 1, 1 times D. That's what? A plus D. Am I making a sense? Am I making a sense? So the 8th term is A plus 7D, 3 times, it is 3 times the second term, which is A plus what? D. So what do I have? A plus 7D equals to 3A plus what? 3D. Am I making a sense? I can collect like terms. 7D, if I bring this one here, that will now be minus 3D equals to 3A. If I bring this one here, that will now be minus A. What do I now have now? 4D equals to what? 2A. Am I making a sense? What do I have? 2 will cancel out this. So what do I have? 2D equals to what? A. Or we just say A equals to what? 2D. But that does not solve our problem. We still come back here. Now, we are told that this third term, sum of the third term, the sum of the third term is 18. Now, how do I get sum of the third term? Sum of the third term will be equal to what? 3 over 2, if I'm applying that formula, 2A plus 3 minus 1D. What do I now have? 3 over 2 into 2A plus 3 minus 1, 2. That's 2D. Am I making a sense? This will now give us what? 3 over 2 into brackets. Now, look at this. 2A plus 2D. I've already determined that my 2D is equals to what? A. My 2D is equals to A. So I can just quickly substitute this 2D equals to A. That will have what? 2A plus what? A. That will have what? 3 over 2 times what? 3A. What do I now have? 9A over what? 9A over 2. So if I bring that here, it means that 9A over 2, which is the sum of the 9A over 2, equals to what? 18. I mean now, so what do I now have? 9A equals to what? 18 times 2. So what do I now have? 9A equals to 18 times 2, or we just say A equals to 18 times 2 divided by 9. This will give me this. So that what do I now have? A equals to 2 times 2, 4. So now I've gotten my first term. It's even the first term that they asked me to get. What if they ask you to get the common difference? How do I get the common difference? The common difference from this statement from here is A over what? 2. What do I now have? 4 over 2. What do I now have? 2. So I think with this, when you see any question under AP and G, sum of AP, you should be able to handle it.